Oh, all right. And we're happy? Oh, we're happy. Okay.
At least someone's happy.
Hello everyone, he's Mio.
And he's Keto.
We're here to talk about She-Hulk episode 8. I forget the name of this episode.
Hang on. Alright, we're back on track. It's called Ribbit and Rip It. Unless I have that backwards. Maybe Ribbit and Rip It? Rip It and Rip It?
So we're not back on track. But the point is, this is the episode just before the season finale. And finally, we have Daredevil.
That's right. Matt Murdock has made his appearance in the series of She-Hulk. He was teased for... How early was it teased? Before the show even came out?
Yep. They said more scenes than you could ever expect, basically.
It's more than you expect Daredevil. He will be in the show. Yeah.
One episode. Of course, he returns for the finale.
It's possible.
But I would say disappointed.
Yeah, not worth it. For all you people who have been waiting this long and suffering through this just to be caught up and ready for when Daredevil pops up, congratulations. He's here.
Yep. I hope you enjoyed it, because I did not really care.
Yeah.
It's not like his performance was very bad or anything like that. It's just the fact that overall his presence in the series did not benefit anything, and it was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah. Altogether, he didn't do much in the episode, actually. I don't know. It seems almost like a split-off, like, one-shot type adventure. It didn't really further the story at all. He didn't play any meaningful part in it. He just was in this episode for a cameo episode.
Yeah, now that I think about it, did they use as much CGI as they did in this, again, CGI in the original series as they did in this episode? Because I feel like with him like flipping around and everything, it was a lot of CGI.
Yeah, I don't think so. At least from season 1 and 2 that I remember what I've seen.
Yeah.
I believe it was stunt work.
Yeah, and I get the fact that there's CGI and everything like that, for like doing like when there's a hole in the ground or whatever like that. But I feel like in this particular instance, there was an excessive amount maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because like one of the things that makes Daredevil cool is the fact that he himself is like you can tell that he's doing the stunts, like it's an actual fight scene. That's what makes this fight scenes cool. In this case, I think they're kind of just prepping him up to like put him in more MCU movies.
Yeah, it's kind of like with Black Panther. That movie would have been better if the fight scene. Well, maybe not. The movie wouldn't have been better, but the end battle would have been better if it had been practical stunt work.
As opposed to CGI puppets pawing at each other.
Yeah, slapping each other through the air.
We're not talking about Black Panther.
Okay, back on track. Yeah, his character wasn't super well represented in this. I don't know. It doesn't match with the Daredevil that I remember. Although I haven't seen season 3 yet, so maybe he changes to this.
To be fair.
And he's in love with Jen Walter. Oh, maybe not in love.
Yeah, they
have a romance, if you can call it that.
Matt Murdock goes back to his old days. I can't think of something to put in front of that that's channel appropriate.
His old college days.
And is back to sleeping around. So he and Jen are perfect for each other.
Oh, whatever. I don't. How dare they take a character that we're all waiting for and then make them? Yeah, whatever.
And with She-Hulk, no less. My word. But also, in the fight scene, because there's a main fight scene. Oh wait, we never even recapped the episode.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we can always insert that before this, or we'll just insert it now.
Who cares? Basically, there's this guy who wears a frog costume that's made by Jennifer's tailor, who makes superhero costumes, and he gets into some trouble. He ends up burning his legs. Jen goes to a court case against, her tailor or whatever like that. Matt Murdock pops up
to represent the tailor.
Finds out that the Ribbit guy added some jet fuel to his boots.
Yeah, which is against the instructions, and so that negates any responsibility on the part of the tailor. We'll come back to that. So anyway, he talks to She-Hulk and as Matt Murdock, and they have a little bit of a conversation. And she goes home to be lonely, and then she gets called out by
the Ribbit guy,
the guy who she's representing, her client, for some assistance because he's being attacked. And she shows up. It's Daredevil. Daredevil's after that guy. She tries to stop him from following that guy, and then he tells her that he has kidnapped the tailor to try to force him to make a new suit.
And then the Ribbit guy gets defeated. The tailor gets back to his job, going back to making suits for Jen. And then Jen and Daredevil get together and hook up.
Yeah.
And then
she's nominated for Best Female Lawyer of the Year. And then the Intelligentsia shows up in their master plan.
Yep, in the master plan. And yeah, we're gonna get into that later. Yep. Okay. So back to where we were with Daredevil. Daredevil in the fight scene he's like fighting these dudes and everything else like that. It's like typical, I guess, Daredevil behavior. Cool superhero stuff goes on. And then there's this guy who's like has his walkie-talkie and it's going off. He's basically saying like, oh, there's like some guy in the hall or whatever, everything else like that.
Calls for backup.
Yeah. And usually I feel like Daredevil was more like, oh, he's like into stealth and everything like that. So he like destroy the walkie-talkie, Wilson. Just saying.
He wouldn't, from what I remember anyway, I don't think he would allow somebody to call for backup when he's in the middle of a stealth mission. He's usually better than that.
Yeah, and he even said like stealth is what he's doing with this thing. So I don't know, it seemed a little inconsistent, but that kind of generally covers Daredevil's thing, and then he and Jen sleep together. That's a thing that happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then during his, he had a little altercation with She-Hulk, which he lost a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, I assume it's like he's trying to get away from She-Hulk or whatever like that, not actually trying to fight her, but still, I feel like he handled the situation very poorly.
Yeah, he didn't do what he really could have to escape if he really wanted to, but you know, that's just because the show writers had to write that scene in there. So.
Also, by the way, when he was on the car with the Ribbit guy's car, when he was on the Ribbit guy's car, I feel like he should have been able to like just take down the car a lot sooner than that, but I don't know.
One would think. I don't think it was usually in his behavior to ride on top of people's cars while they're driving.
And even if he was to do something like that, like I feel like he'd like break through the window, some a little better than that. Even then, he would track him back down.
One would think. Also, what was that guy called? LeapFrog?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, just confirmed. Yeah, he is indeed a Marvel character. I did recognize the name.
Yeah, he kind of goes from a hero, like a villain to hero kind of thing, which is kind of interesting, but in this particular instance, he's not a very interesting character to follow. Basically, that covers Daredevil's whole character thing in this episode.
Kind of disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, but Jen in this episode causes some more property damage, which is not really an issue that matters apparently, even with her being chosen as Lawyer of the Year.
Yeah, Lawyer of the Year.
How did she win Lawyer of the Year?
Did she win or was she just nominated?
I guess she's like nominated. I mean, they all got like the awards and whatever, like little participation trophies.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, she was nominated. Maybe it's because she's She-Hulk. I'm not sure. But yeah, her lack of knowledge about the rights involved with personal property damage, and how much she has to pay for.
Even throwing someone's car.
I know, she just picks up some random person's car. It was just lying there.
Okay, did she throw that at Daredevil?
Yeah, I think so.
Good grief.
Could have killed him.
I mean, moreover, I'm just tired of her throwing people's property or whatever.
I know, and crashing things. She actually, I think, doesn't she throw something? Is that what causes him to fly through the air a little bit? And then, like,
no, she just claps her hands.
Oh, she claps her hands and he hits his head on the car. Luckily, it doesn't kill him because he's wearing a helmet. But can you imagine if he did die?
That'd be awkward.
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't deserve to be Daredevil, so whatever.
And I'm... Alright, just quickly jumping back over to the Taylor guy. It seems he kind of has sort of an underground business, I guess. Because it's like hidden in that one episode and everything. So
I thought so.
So how does he go to court? I assumed what he was doing was illegal somehow.
At least I didn't think it was going to be this publicly known.
Yeah, because it's Superhuman Registration Act.
It's like a superhero court.
Oh yeah, it is a court for superhuman related things, but the LeapFrog guy wasn't superpowered.
So I thought this was the same judge who was in the first episode, or was it not?
I think so. Hang on, wait. It also says that his father is kind of important with the company, but he's not superhuman, so I'm kind of surprised too. I don't know. Not a whole lot of that makes sense.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there that does make sense. But anyway, we gotta move on. On to the down to the villains.
Yes, Intelligentsia seems like they're the big bads of the series, at least the episode before the finale. They make their big move.
Yeah, and apparently leader's not involved, which is pretty disappointing, not gonna lie. Let's go do like this big massive reveal in the very end. But yeah, Intelligentsia has a plan, and their plan for this entire series is to take down She-Hulk. And the way they're going to do it...
It's amazing, you'll never guess.
I'll give you 5 seconds. No, I'll give you 2.
Alright, time's up.
Alright, basically their entire thing is to make her look like a... We're gonna have to find a friendly word.
Yeah, we can't say...
What can we say?
They're going to
expose the fact that she sleeps with several men on several different occasions, quite close together.
Yeah. She's bad at golf, and they're going to putt shame her.
Oh. Putt shame her. Well, that sounds kind of weird too.
Fine.
No, we'll stick with it.
Fine, they're going to try to putt shame She-Hulk.
That really sounds bad.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
They're shaming She-Hulk for her promiscuous behavior.
Essentially.
And they play it on the screen in front of, that's going to play, I think, some video about the female Lawyer of the Year or something instead. So her boss and her family and her friends and everybody else sees it. And this understandably makes her very upset and distraught.
Indeed. This is an invasion of privacy. And for that reason, I will say that, yes, this is a very bad thing. However, let's kind of go back to the show's narrative. For one, I mean, Intelligentsia is basically saying, she's such a bad person because she sleeps around. It's like, yeah, well, like, that's a personal life. So it really wouldn't affect anything anyway. Even if it is embarrassing, it wouldn't affect her necessarily her job.
Fair enough. Although yeah, I mean, you could probably never look at everyone else the same way again, but still.
I mean, I've seen some other weird stories, like some cop who was like a swimsuit model or something like that, or maybe she had OnlyFans or whatever, and she was a cop, and all her cop buddies supported her, probably because they were buying it, but besides that,
Yeah,
you
weirder things
you can get by.
Yeah, and this is invasion of privacy. I'm sure everybody would understand.
But yeah, this is a bad thing. That's a serious thing. Like, don't go down when people canceling us and saying, "Oh, you don't take this kind of subject seriously." It's like, yes, I do. Now go away and sit in the corner or something like that.
But yeah, their big plan this entire time. So far, the blood hasn't come into play.
No,
but yeah, their big plan is
they show like pictures of her phone and everything, like has the Captain America's butt on there and everything else like that. And I guess
text messages.
Although I don't think she was too thirsty in her tweets, but what do I know?
Yeah, and there's a video that Josh apparently took of them sharing some fries, and yeah, there's
intimate fries.
Yes. And all that goes on, and so that drives, I don't know if, I assume that was their plan, it drives her into a rage.
And she destroys the screen.
And everybody freaks out.
Everyone freaks out and starts running, and then she goes out in the building, and then sees that one guy, tries to catch him, but they have to let her go, because then everyone, all of a sudden she's surrounded by damage control, maybe?
It's either damage control or sword, I don't know which one it is at this point. Ever since S.H.I.E.L.D. split off.
Maybe it's empowered of intelligentsia, what do I know?
Who knows?
But yeah, that's the end of the episode. But back to the narrative of the fact that they are trying to shame She-Hulk. It doesn't really work because previously in this episode, we just saw her randomly hook up with Daredevil. So the audience is kind of confused, like, oh, you shouldn't shame people. Oh, you shouldn't shame people and everything else like that. But then also show us this her going around with like 3 different dudes in this 9-episode series.
Over the course of the series, yeah. She is still somehow single, yet she's been with 3 guys.
Yeah.
Over how many episodes again?
9. I mean 8. 8 now. I mean
8 now. But yeah, over the previous episodes. And I assume this isn't new behavior.
Indeed. It's like, what is the point of showing us this?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, the intelligentsia, they said a bunch of things that are mean, of course, and they shouldn't do this. Again, I guess I have to caveat all this. They didn't say anything that wasn't necessarily untrue. Or they didn't show anything that didn't happen. Yeah. Well, it is private life and it shouldn't be involved.
To be fair, they wouldn't show anything that was a lie.
That's true, yeah.
It's like she did sleep with Josh. Yeah. And she did have those texts, and she did have like Captain America's button on her phone. So like those are all things that are real. Mm-hmm. It's happened that yes, it's privacy, but I mean let's not pretend it didn't happen. It did happen.
Now just everyone knows about it.
That feels like a deep fake kind of weird thing or whatever, which honestly would make more sense. But at the same time, what does intelligence even care for? Like, why do they hate She-Hulk? How can the intelligence represent the fandom if we didn't even hate She-Hulk before this point? But then they're like in the show itself, they're saying, oh, they're gonna hate this series, so they're gonna make it meta and make it so that fans hate this series, so they make the series purposely bad, so that the fans feel bad about being intelligentsia in the series. It's like it's big brain, but it's so stupid.
It doesn't work.
What were you thinking?
Nice try.
I don't know,
but because they don't. I can't explain.
I always need to see the last episode just to see exactly how far they go with this.
Indeed, because for some reason there's a She-Hulk hate group, and they hate her this much that they invade her privacy and kind of do this. I guess I assume they have a plan beyond this, unless this is just it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this is what the series has been leading to.
Worthless. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like, did they actually make this idea with in mind that this is going to represent the fans? Because so that's petty and pathetic, honestly. They didn't bother making a good series. They simply wanted to go shove some kind of forced narrative into the awful show instead of making it better, and then shame the fans. It's like, don't shame She-Hulk, but we're gonna make fun of you all day.
It's okay when I do it. And so yeah, I don't know. They could be not necessarily the fans per se, but I think they are definitely trying to project some stuff. I mean, clearly they're self-projecting in this series.
They're projecting about toxic fandom.
Yeah, and they're trying to project the toxic fandom onto this group, it seems. Like, intelligentsia represents like either 4chan or Reddit or something.
I really don't know what 4chan is.
I don't know what it is either. But those groups don't necessarily make up the fan base that's watching this show. So I don't know why you're speaking so harsh, so hard at that. The show isn't meant for those people, obviously.
But anyway, we can't talk about this too long. In fact, this is way longer than we expected to. We actually wanted to make this a very short video. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but maybe we can go cut some stuff out, whatever.
So if you want to help support the video and get in the algorithm, go ahead and just leave a comment. Let us know what you think of She-Hulk. whether you think the finale is going to be better than the rest of the series, or whether you think or whether you like the series and you think the finale is going to be a real good show.
And if you can't think of anything else, comment down below. Put.
If you can't think of anything else. And until next time, he's Keto.
And he's Mia.